Zola.com.
Okay, great.
Yeah, it's here. This is the
Great. Hi, this is the September Executive Committee meeting for Manhattan Community Board 2. I'm the chair, Valerie Della Rosa, and we have a quorum, so I'm going to call this meeting to order at 6:31 p.m. I'm going to, first, if I can get an approval of the August Executive Committee minutes.
I move to approve.
Okay, second, great.
That's all right.
Thanks so much. So now I'll go into the chair's report. Really quickly, we have, first of all, everyone, welcome back. So it's not this didn't really go anywhere because your committees met. But let's hope everyone is able to get away for at least a little bit. So I know we're all excited to start the fall season. We have a full calendars moving ahead in the months ahead. I know a lot of you have, or if you didn't have, I added it, the fiscal year 2027 budget priorities and district needs statement. I added those to the agendas just so you could even just get the ball rolling, and especially for committees that at the end of September who do need to cover those, since we will be voting on the top three for expense and capital at the October, I can't believe it, October executive committee meeting. But hopefully everyone's been pacing with kind of their planning. Thank you everyone for being on board with that. And we will move ahead on that. Are we just now recording? All right. One big thing I will mention before I go into kind of some other things is that DOT is going to start a public engagement process for Canal Street improvements. So they will be coming to the community, they will be coming to traffic and transportation. This will be affecting community boards 1, 2, and 3. So we will be sending those materials out. They will be doing outreach on the street. And there's a full, it'll be, right, Mark, we're going to include the deck from today in the.
I don't know if they'll give us the deck, but there is a flyer I already have.
Okay, I have a deck, so we will just confirm that we can send that out. So people can get it ahead of time. And it has the different bids involved as well, both the Chinatown bid, Soho Broadway bid, I believe, and the Hudson Square bid. So stay tuned for more on that. And when it will be coming to CB2, they should be coming to us twice, at least once in the fall, if not twice in the fall, and then once at the beginning of the spring. And then they will have their the timeline and all of that. I can share that with everyone later. And anyway, so on that, in order to show that we're optimizing our time, I want to ask the following of our non-agency application-driven committees to make sure that not just to have a meeting, to make sure that we have, if you have evergreen issues, to batch them together, to make sure you have at least like minimum 2 on your agenda. So everyone should have 2, obviously, with the budget priorities and whatnot. But just like 3 agenda items would be ideal. So this is just so that committee members feel their time is well spent, they feel good about their service, and also respectful of the public's time, as they know your agenda will be fruitful and worth their time spent. I know that things drop out and speakers drop out, and so it's nothing punitive or anything, and this is not coming from a place of that. It's just a good reminder as it's about to get very, very busy, and want to make sure that we are being productive with our time. And just this will help continue to plan those agendas in advance. Probably after district needs in October, I'll start sending out just little reminders about looking ahead for the next 6 months and getting that done. As far as agendas and agenda updates, so committee agendas, we kind of want to have them kind of here so everyone has consensus and knows other things going on, because I know that we are all involved both within our leadership roles here, but also outside of the board, and bringing that information and making sure that any sort of connections that this group needs to have as a brain trust come up. So if you have any updates to your agendas, and again, this is just a friendly reminder, to email them to Mark and myself so we can just make sure, because again, there's other moving pieces happening at district service cabinet and whatnot. We just want to make sure that that we're all aligned and we're making sure our use of our time is productive. So other than that, I think we're good on the meeting date changes. I know that there's some that will come up when we talk about the calendars. So just making sure we have those set. I know that we have them on the calendar, but it's also helping your committee plan, especially as we're coming up with the holidays. If you already know you're not going to meet in certain months towards the end of the year, let's get those off the calendar now. And if something comes up, then we'll add them on, right? Other than that, with the general election coming up and potential changes in the mayoral administration and a countdown to term limits, I want to talk about just kind of two items there. I want to make sure that when we're reaching out to city, state, or federal agency staff or elected officials, that you copy Mark and myself, just so we're in the loop with what's going on. If they were directing an agency to take some sort of an action or a suggestion, again, there's other things that come into our purview that it would just be helpful. And also always having the consistency of the office, having that institutional knowledge. Again, just a friendly reminder as we're kind of starting a new semester. And other than that, and also please, as the leaders of your committees, to also please just check on what your public members are doing. I don't think any board members are doing that, but if your public members are, if you could help rein them in, because sometimes I'm not copied on things, then I am copied on things, and I'm like, why is this person directing the agency staff to take this action on behalf of the board? And it's not clear when they're speaking for the board or another organization they represent, and it's just kind of weird, because then we are copied on it. I don't know. Anyways, and then if you have anything going out to an agency where it's asking to take an action on behalf of the board, position, if you could please have that come from the office, even if it's in the body of an email. It starts to then get weird if it's then being responded to like a personal email, not someone in the office. Other than that, we will be announcing so thank you for all of that. I know, any questions?
I just want an example. Can you give me an example?
There is an example would be like, I mean, this is not to have it. It is something at a state agency, so it's nothing. It's nothing, and it's more just streamlined to make sure, like I said, with term limits and leadership turnover, I just want to make sure that's coming from the office. So it's nothing.
So when we're dealing with an agency, it should come from that.
Yeah, if it's like a very like specific, like CB2 asks for this, like it's a very, even if you're copying into the body of an email, it's still like an ask of the board. And if it's something.
Yeah, I can see.
It's dealing with the licensing thing, so, yeah.
Does this have to do also with setting up meetings? Like if I'm reaching out to city agencies to try to arrange future meetings?
That's a good question.
I've been in touch with the mayor's office on mental health, and I'm just setting that up. I'm not CCing you guys and everything, because I feel like a lot of back and forth.
You know, I think it's just good to have the office CC so they know, because again, like Mark has with the district service, I know not every representative of the mayor's office is on there, but also just again to try to have that continuity as we're rolling over, it would be helpful.
So to err on the side of more emails.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fine. I just.
Yeah. Other than that, we will be announcing the like date and location of the CB. That's now something more fun of the CB2 board member holiday.
All right.
Yes. So if you look at the calendars, there's not, as you can imagine, there's not many places where it can fall. So if we could quickly have that discussion before we go to the district manager's report and I wrap up this report, and before we go to the calendars, the only date in December falls on what appears to be the second night of Hanukkah. We could double up cannabis licensing on another day and have it on that Monday, the 8th. I worry about a Sunday date or a weekend date, and we also will not likely have the staff there, so,
Yeah, we could get pushed.
so
Yeah.
Yeah,
the 8th seems to be the only date that is not a holiday, because the 15th does fall the second night of Hanukkah, so I
celebrate on the second night of Hanukkah.
can't speak to that,
It's
so
not a
I,
religious observance.
No.
It's not like Rosh Hashanah where
No,
you
you don't go to
people
synagogue.
don't do that. It's not quite in that league, so. it's
I'm gonna,
cultural holiday.
yeah, I'm gonna guess the Hanukkah parties happen on that Sunday, but I don't know.
so,
Maybe I could find out.
so either the 8th or the 15th, and I know we have cannabis slotted for the 8th, but we could double that up potentially somewhere else.
I would just check with Mara, but then see if it's.
Yeah.
your event.
And again, we need to reach out because we were with Percy of the location we had it last year, which was Brass Monkey, if we're still open to that location. I know it's very far west in our district. And then,
Not many people are gonna take us for that price. I mean, I just think,
okay.
I'm okay.
Yes, they're very nice to us.
They're very nice.
They're very
Yeah, okay.
nice.
I really like the room.
It's a really great room.
Yeah,
Somebody who's on the east side, I'm
You
okay
know,
with it.
It's a very, it's a local, it serves a local community.
and should we start it at an earlier time? Like, how do we catch more? I just feel like a lot more people used to go, but I feel as though,
The parties?
I feel as though COVID changed a lot of different things, so
We also have a lot of new people this year. So,
Yeah.
Reaching out to
No.
getting them.
5 o'clock start time.
I think then, well, you'll get more electives,
Yeah.
but you won't get people who have to leave work. I mean,
Yeah,
that's hard to
yeah.
hit. And then here they work until 6.
Right,
So
okay.
let's just do that.
Okay, we'll get back to you with that exact date. So just wanted to have that discussion. If you have other points you'd like to make,
If somebody is free at 5, they'll also be free at 6. But if you're not free at 5,
that's true. And then you feel like you might be missing it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Good point.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all that I have for the chair's report. So I'm gonna turn it over. Yes,
You mentioned checking in with public members.
yeah,
I had 2 people apply to be public members, but I didn't hear back.
yes. So
Side conversation?
well, I know, well, one didn't live in the district,
Okay,
and I don't know about the second one.
okay.
Right, there was the one that like lived in CB3, right? Or didn't have any connection to
CB2.
CB2 when we
Okay.
tried to ask for it.
Didn't work or you-
Yeah,
It's
well,
a
remember,
nexus,
Remember-
Okay, all right.
just the way we need a nexus to be on.
Okay, all right. And then the other
Um,
one? No comment.
I had questions about that, but I
Okay,
haven't
alright.
appointed any public members to, I do have the percentages that I can share, because there are some committees that are maxed out at what they have now. And then where we slot the new members, which I will be taking an intake survey from you guys and then from them, and then having conversations to see where they match. So
Okay,
like Rush without all the parties.
Because there's a rule where you can have only as many public members as you have. It's
Can't have more than 50%.
50%.
Yeah, so I have that breakdown, and I'm happy to share with that.
okay.
I don't know if you're aware, but every new member has come to me and asked to be on parks. I mean, it's amazing. It's
Good delivery.
$5, like
Yeah.
$5. That's not
It's
gonna
like
buy your way in.
versus land use. which
We've had
is-
some very active new members, and we've been keeping track on a weekly basis on who's gone where.
But, you know, we've had a bunch of.
Yeah.
Good, yeah. They haven't really.
Should probably want to
Okay,
spread them
okay.
out, too.
That was just a joke.
Okay, but I believe it though. I mean, I believe it.
No, they've been good to come
Yeah.
ask questions.
Yeah. Well, thank you everyone for being so welcoming to all of them. And I think that's the end of my chair's report if there's no other questions.
I'm sorry, have you actually assigned the new people formally?
As I just said, will be taking
Yourself.
yeah, I will be, there's an echo.
As you said,
I will be taking their interest as well as hearing from what the needs are of the committee, both informally on the phone and also through, like a survey. Right, Mark?
Yep. Got a couple things. For the calendar discussion that you're about to have, in addition to adding schools and education to an early slot on the 25th, there are a couple of doubled up meetings on the calendar that have been there all along, but now we're approaching the months in which they occur. They're in November, and I want to call your attention to the fact that because of Election Day, SLA 1 is on the same day as Parks and Waterfront. That's Wednesday, November 5th. I don't think there's any overlap with committee members. And that one isn't really a problem because SLA 1 is already off-site. So the other one can be here. I have to get a second Zoom account, but that's easily done. The other one is Monday, November 17th, where the Outdoor Dining Working Group and Human Services are both slotted. Human Services moved to that spot a year ago because because you would otherwise be meeting on Thanksgiving, and I'm guessing that the turkey isn't that big.
Yeah, I've always sort of figured that, I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt you, go ahead.
No, please,
Well, I always sort of figure that November and December, we don't have meetings.
if that's your decision, then that makes everything really easy. But
I mean-
that's 2 months in a row where you don't get to meet, and I don't want to be the one to tell you that.
I mean, we have very few meetings a year, but we're not, as you know, application driven, so.
Okay.
What kind of a bushwhack committee is it?
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Bush league.
No one's probably offered you money.
Okay, with respect to, we're on the subject of calendars. Usually this Friday, the day after full board, would be the day that the October calendar would go out. But because of timing with respect to certain applications, it's actually going to be the Friday after, the 26th. So this is, for those committees that are not application driven, please have your stuff to us before that. A quick note, the labyrinth over here in between the Time Garden and the LaGuardia Garden
Yes.
apparently is showing its age. And NYU is interested in helping refurbish it, which is a nice thing. And we've been in touch with the artist who originally created it under a now defunct DOT program from 2011. So it looks like that's gonna.
Wait, the time landscape.
Yeah.
It's in between the Time landscape and the LaGuardia Garden proper. So there's a concrete space, and there's this labyrinth.
Oh, the labyrinth. I'm sorry.
Great,
Yes.
but the great point, the great story of the month was why DOT controls that space.
Yes, I've been treated to that, so.
That was the great.
Yeah.
Robert Bowes.
Marlene is leading the charge on this, so there'll be money, but
I thought you
yes.
said she was leaving.
I know. I was like,
What?
what? I know.
We got to tell the story. So the story was
Yeah.
when, you know how Robert Moses was going to build the
Lomex
highway through, so
Through the arch.
that was going to be the entrance, the on-ramp. So he seized that to make the on-ramp to the highway.
To the highway that never was, thank you,
Yeah.
Jane Jacobs.
Yeah, good call.
And the elevated
call.
tracks right down the park. The L-track.
Did
No
they-
kidding.
I didn't know that.
Turn and went across West Third and then turn.
The
back
L
around
had
corner.
once had elevator.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Not the L subway,
Was it?
yeah, the elevated subway.
It was on Sixth
So
Avenue.
this is my plug for a novel written by a friend called Our Kind of People, which is all about people who invested in the L.
All right, sorry to.
I don't know, this is much more interesting than I am.
Oh, please don't say sorry. I hear that all day long. Sorry.
It's,
It's in between the two gardens. So Morgan Williams, just keep walking.
It's by the steps as you go up to 505 LaGuardia.
Okay.
So it's basically part of the entrance area.
right, that's right.
Okay.
You can see it on. Google
Next
Maps.
topic is the EEPC audit.
Sounds very, what does that stand for?
The Equal Employment
Got it.
Practices Commission. And this is the one where they don't tell you what to do and then criticize you later for not doing it. So we've received our final determination, and it turns out that there's not that much left to do. They impose obligations on the chair, which is kind of interesting considering the chair is a volunteer. So the staff has now completed all the additional trainings that we didn't know we had to do. And the chair will either do so or we'll have a plan for her doing so. And that'll be our response to the final determination. A couple things about the district needs statement and budget priorities. I circulated the results of the first of 3 days of budget consultations with the Office of Management and Budget. Some Some of the agencies respond in advance, some just show up that day and give you the answers. Whatever answers I have, they're in the drive. And if I can do this successfully.
Ooh.
Showing it off.
So that's today's agenda. Where's the other thing? All right, I have to. Give me 1 second more. Here we go. So this is the Google Drive, and here is the district needs statement folder, in which you'll find a couple of years worth. So we go to 2027. What I was just talking about is the Office of Management and Budget consultations with agencies. And you'll see that I put it in last year's just in case you wanted to look back. But anybody who's responded, you'll see the words with agency responses there. ACS did a fantastic job, so I commend if you want to read that one. Anyway, so that's what's there. Now let's go back to fiscal 27. And I want to call your attention to a couple of things. I don't have the survey results yet because they're still coming in. Let's see. This was my long email that you all had to suffer through a couple of weeks ago. But the narratives, where are the narratives?
Narrative statements, 2026?
Do
The DNS of 2026 narrative statements?
Narrative, fourth one down.
Okay, that's last year's budget priorities and a space for this year's. And then there it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so the narratives are, I don't think I can expand this. So let me just pick one up. The point I'm trying to make is that the categories that the district needs statement form wants us to fill in don't correspond exactly to our committee
Right,
structure.
that's right.
So, for example, housing is also economic development and land use. And I think they put children and so transportation and mobility are together. Let's see.
Some of this is public.
Core infrastructure, city services and resiliency, that's where we ask for more money for the district office. Housing, economic development, and whatever that is. Okay, you get the idea. The reason I'm highlighting narrative descriptions is that in addition to picking your budget priorities, it would be a good idea to review how we phrase what we talk about. And then the overview. The overview is a fairly lengthy description of our district. And the old ones, we updated it last year because it kept talking about COVID and it was kind of done with that. So we moved on. Yeah. But it would be great if somebody could take a look and see what's there.
Yeah, and I can reach out to or tag people. Is this editable or this is you have to download it?
They were PDFs, but I turned them all into Word documents so they should be easily edited.
So would you like the chairs to look at the paragraphs that are related to our committees and propose wording or whatever, text?
It could be as simple as editing, or it could be there may be new things to talk about.
Yeah.
But the narrative statement is important. And the other thing is, in years past, we had a sort of an auction where one committee would say mine is the number one priority, so yours is number two and yours is number three. Now it's agency by agency. So, and I drilled down on this today because I didn't believe what I was hearing.
This is new this year?
That's new this year.
Oh.
So
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
So parks, you can say, here are our top 10 in order parks priorities
so
without
we
having to bargain with
Yeah.
housing. for
Oh,
example.
we have much shorter meeting for next.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
So
Yeah.
think
That's like
when
really
you're
important
preparing for
information.
your meetings to talk about DNS, please keep that in mind, because you don't have to have the give and take. But it is agency by agency. So some of you may talk, so for example, children's services, some of it's the Department of Education, but some of it is ACS and some of it is DYCD. So as I understand it, there'll be 3 separate ways in which we can input priorities for those 3 different agencies. I thought it was going to be by the big categories that they've been using here, but apparently not. So that gives us even more flexibility to prioritize things as we go along. There are 2 more days of these budget consultations. I would only tune in for the ones that you're interested in. I facilitated.
How do you tune in?
You let me know you want it in and I'll send you the link.
But it's like, how do we know what to choose from? Like what's left? Did you?
It was in my email the other
Okay,
day.
okay.
So because of Rosh Hashanah, there's nothing the following week. So September 25th and October 3rd are the next dates for these things.
So Mark, just so I have this straight, when we go to our committee, let's say there's 3 agencies that we regularly talk about, we are just advocating for our top list for each of those agencies. And when we come together, we're not advocating for what we think are the priorities of the board as a whole.
Correct.
Okay.
There is.
There's no
correct?
top 3 at all?
No, now there is, I'm sorry, that was my next point. Thank you. There is still the top 3 district needs,
Okay.
which the whole board should vote on. And so last year, I don't have it in front of me, but last year it was affordable housing for Howard Street, the parking garage, and the IMT from your committee. And then the third was actually a mixture of education needs, mostly technology for a couple of different schools. So those are the 3. This year, obviously it's all up for grabs. So there will be that. A note that the charter requires us to hold a public hearing on the budget. And so what we've sometimes done is simply say, the first 20 minutes of the next school board meeting will be the public hearing. Sometimes you can do it during exec, but you probably want to put your ducks in a row first and then have your public hearing.
I mean, technically, every single committee has a public hearing for the items on their committee, and full board, I would think the public session would.
Fair enough. We can
Yeah,
have
I mean,
that.
I think that's like, because that's the whole point of having the,
Couple committees already did
Have
that.
already done.
Yeah.
yeah, and the rest of us are doing
Okay,
them.
well, if you want to treat it that way, that's even
So when
easier.
you said the budget, we're talking about the city's budget.
That's correct. This is only, and it's fiscal year 27, which starts next July. So it's a long look ahead.
So are we presented with a proposal for the city's budget and we're responding to it, or?
No, we get the executive budget for fiscal year 2027 in the early spring.
So is that, I'm just confused. So we're not going to be, the public hearing you're describing is not a response to the executive budget. It's our own, what we'd like to see in the budget. Okay.
It's a public hearing on what we're proposing should be
Okay.
priorities for
The city's
the
budget.
executive budget.
Okay.
I just lost the thought.
Oh,
Anyway,
sorry.
that will all take place after we do what our work, because the priorities that you express are then communicated to the agencies who theoretically take it into account as they're feeding information to OMB for the executive budget. This is the other thought I had. It might be worth, I can't seem to get back to it, but it might be worth going to the part in the drive I was just showing you. You can, let me see if I can bring it back up. Okay. It might be worth
Did you mention
Sure.
about people going and looking at the agency responses from last year?
that's what I'm doing right now.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks.
So if you go to budget priorities, you can go to the fiscal 2026 budget, which is right here. And then you'll see we have capital and expense budgets. And then, I'm sorry, this isn't the page. I apologize. Anyway, in that drive, there is, in that drive, I'll find it for you later. don't want to waste your time now. There is a list of the priorities that we adopted and then what the agency said in response.
Right, which is always, thank you very
Which is-
much, but we're not going to do that. But thank you
It's
so
actually-
much.
it's actually pretty rude this year.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, it's like removed from list.
Very efficient.
I have a
It
question.
didn't quite go to what were you thinking
extreme.
about, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was pretty terse.
I have a question.
Anyway, and it is worth taking a look at how they respond to some of these things. Doesn't mean you don't reprioritize something that they didn't like, just means that you know what you're getting resolved.
I have a question.
Please do.
Well, one of the agencies that we're interested in is the New York State Department of Health in terms of hospitals. Does that fit in any of this? That this is all city stuff, right?
Correct. The community board is a city agency, so we comment on the city budget. You could pass a resolution calling for the state budget to do something, but that would not be part of this process.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm really glad you brought that up, Susanna, because sometimes we will hear from our state electeds about things as they're in the process of negotiating that budget. So we do have something, obviously, if you have passed something, then it would get sent to them. But again,
Yeah, we will have passed something on H&H and supporting, Bellevue. And that's a state issue.
Yep. Okay. Unless there are questions, that's my report. Thanks.
yeah. Okay.
Valerie, that your job of doing the live prioritization.
Oh, yeah, I guess now I'm really in the hot seat for that. I gotta like amp up my game now for everyone.
Not quite as
Maybe, maybe it's, oh, yeah, it's not as needed. Yeah, it's not as needed.
ChatGPT, but
Yeah.
you know.
No, we could get like
Find something else for you.
yeah, I guess I'll find something else to do. Yeah, I know, right as it came game time. Okay, so let's look at the September and October calendars.
Okay.
And then we'll quickly look over November, December, then we'll get through our business so we can get everyone out, since I know some people have 3 meetings.
September and October, is that what you're saying?
September and October. Also, the end of September, which I don't think is in this packet. Oh, it is. Okay. So let me quickly pull this up. And no, I have it. I'm on Zoom. I'm just gonna share my screen. Okay. So we do have, so schools and ed and human services, you guys have.
We're going to work that out. I have an email into the mayor's office of mental health to see if they can slide 7. If they can, then there's no problem. And if they can't, we'll just wedge them in together.
Okay. Great. Thank you both for that and your patience on that. Okay, so schools and ed, we have back to school, you have the superintendent, and this should have an asterisk for the time because this will have to be confirmed. And then discussion of district needs and budget priorities. Okay, all right. And then for the rest of your, I'll just send this to you in the doc and you can look through it, but just so that we're on you've got some things planned going into the next thing. So maybe while we're on schools and it's not your report, but this is just the calendar. So just making sure the dates on October 27th, which is a Monday, November 24th, which is the Monday going into Thanksgiving, and then the 22nd, which is the Monday going into Christmas. Okay. So this is also just so we can get everyone,
Yeah.
If there's things you want to move around, because you're like, you know what, we're not going to meet in this December, or maybe actually this could be, I'll start a doc for each of you and I'll share with you that'll then say like to start with January 2026. And if there's things you want to slot and move, that way you can kind of get that moving.
Got
it. Okay. All right. So,
Thank you.
yeah, well, well, I also don't want, just so your committee knows whether or not you're meeting on those weeks or not as well, or if we need to find another date. But I'll let you take that offline. But so we're good on your agenda for next week. And then for Susanna, hold on. I had this one on here. I think I moved it. Oh, I had 2 sections. Let me move it.
We're the usual, we don't know.
Oh, wait, no, I know Chanel, so I am aware. I'm quite aware. Let me go back to this. I had two sections for human services, so now I have it on here. So we have a pretty robust agenda. This is an idea, like a great ideal agenda, lots of things.
I don't know if it's ideal.
Well, I don't know the time change. I'm
Heavy, but,
yes.
actually, the items 2 and 3 should be very fast. And,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, and if you have anything for number 3 ahead of time or in a draft form, I know that's not typically the culture of our board to have that resolution ahead of time. I know the other one is a special case because it's from,
Right, it's from.
yeah.
We'll see what happens.
So not expected if you have anything to share or
But if we have it, we'll share.
yeah, if you have it, share it, great.
And number 2, that's almost one of the items that we can put on to the district meetings.
Well, yes, except that it's state. It's not city.
It's state money, right?
Yeah. The hospitals are always state, so.
And I was wondering why number 3 is so specific about this one place. that
Yeah, why
should-
not other locations?
All right, I'll be specific, I'll explain this to you. I'm sorry, I'll explain this. Arturo Fernandez on my committee is keen to have a statement against ICE agents wearing masks. Now, that's a nationwide issue.
Well, it could be in New York City.
But I mean, this is on federal land and blah, 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 blah. So my response to that was, well, first of all, we need to have a local, we're not just opining about stuff that happens all around the country. That's not right for us. But there is a federal courthouse in our district. So I think that that's appropriate. There's some legislation that's been put forth by Tony Simone and I think some other things. And Arturo wanted to support that legislation. I don't like to support elected officials legislation. I don't like to take positions like that. I would much rather support the principle behind it, if that makes sense.
But CB2 supports legislation all the time. It supports an issue that we support.
Well, but I don't want to have to read the MELT Act and then everyone has to know the MELT Act and I don't know what else is in the MELT Act. And by the way, who cares what we think about the MELT Act? I think it's important for us to say, sort of stand on position and say, we are against, if we feel that way, we are against the use of masks, but I don't think there's any added value to being specific about lawsuits or elected officials. I just don't, I'd like.
Well, I mean, if it's so complicated that you have to read all these acts, but there have been many situations where we've supported city and state legislation. So
I don't,
as a board.
I've not done it I can't think of when I've done it and I just don't like to come out in support of specific elected
Our
officials. I don't
committee's
have
done it
to.
many times with dyslexia issues.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say, what is the board, and what does the committee want to be?
I mean, to me, I think that what we say about masked ICE agents is not that, it's not going to affect anyone's behavior. No, it's not going to change the law. Lots and lots of people are weighing in on this and it's
Well, then don't have it on the agenda at all. I mean, I'm being facetious here, but take a position and maybe it's just one of a million things, but it's a chance to take a position.
we are taking a position on masks. I don't need to support a specific lawsuit or a specific legislation in order to do so.
I'm not familiar.
On that to just, at CB2 and other areas of CB 201 Barrack and other areas of Community Board 2.
We'll
to just
mention.
Make it our
Like going
boundaries
into
where we're a
schools.
local, body that's saying we would not like to see this within our boundaries. And that
Yeah,
keeps it
That's
very,
fine.
just as a
Yeah, that's
bridge
fine.
that gap of the
Sure.
global issue, because as we've been on the board a long time, we don't want to drift in to larger issues because it distracts from our input on the most local things where there isn't any other input. But that's the way it is.
Yeah, so my feeling about that is that we don't need, we can refer to the other areas where this is happening, but the reason that we are taking a position on it is because it happens also in our area. Otherwise, I don't think it would be appropriate for us to get involved. And so.
Well, I see Katie has her hand, and I would say, that's nice, if that's the direction that the committee is choosing to go, and maybe with that change or suggestion from Carter, we can update the agenda and you and I can.
Yeah, no, it's all part of the resolution anyway.
Yeah, But if we want to change this now to say the bound, like apprehending individuals at Old Courthouse at 201 Barrack and within the boundaries of,
Oh, I see.
Just
Or
saying,
including, or such
in
as.
other areas of CB2.
okay, so I think we should just add, I mean, that's why I just want to,
But who are we
Sure.
telling that to?
Well, that's the thing, you know, I mean, it's like, my feeling about these kinds of resolutions, I mean, I'm keen to, Arturo's passionate about this, and I'm keen to let him be passionate about this, and he's helping to write the resolution. Generally, when it's big issues like this, I just don't really feel it's our strength. I feel like our strength is really, you know, the garbage cans and the, you know, that's where we're
traffic
strong.
lights. Where,
But I
yeah, who would it go,
do
who would it
think
go
we
to?
We did take a, for example, a position on Stonewall National Monument because, and that's a federal thing, but I think because it's in our place and because it deals with our
If we don't
history
speak on that, who will?
and it deals with our values and our history. So, you know, but there too, we didn't support a specific legislation. We just,
Katie. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you.
Carter, can you hear me? Can you
Yes,
hear
you
me?
want Carter to move
He's
closer when he
moving.
speaks.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's not about the conversation, it's about we can't hear Carter from where he's speaking. So I've been trying to get your attention about that.
I would just, I was going to say and add on to what I was saying, this is a good example of use of the board's time and the committee's time and putting things on the agenda and activating the public to come speak with us if it's on an issue that maybe isn't so impactful and maybe larger. I mean, is that where the board wants to be spending its time? Because we've drifted through this over the years in and out of what we've touched on. And now with the changes that are coming forward in the board, people are very passionate about larger issues, but we're really about the most local issues of what's happening on your block, what's happening in the immediate neighborhood. And sometimes this stuff leads us in a direction that it gets people more passionate of sort of going into larger issues when it's most important that we give feedback. You know, I want to know, not your committee, why we don't have garbage cans along Bowery on our district side.
yeah, no,
And that's more
I concur
impactful to.
with you that I think that our strength is to be involved in issues that no one else will think about. And there's a lot of things people can be upset about on a citywide, on a nationwide, on a global, and I don't really think that that's our strength. But I have no objection to taking a sort of policy position in general, so that if an elected official wants to put forth some sort of legislation that says no masks with ICE agents, will he know that they'll get, you know, that we generally concur with that feeling? Okay, good, we'll give him that. But otherwise, yeah, I concur with you. There's a lot of places we can get angry and but we need to.
I guess like who would this go to be enforced? Like
It might go, I think it would go to our elected officials because I think our elected officials are currently.
Goldman now, but
And Tony Simone is putting forth some legislation. And so he could know that CB2 agrees with the principle of, you know, no masks, no masks on ICE agents.
it doesn't represent us though.
No, but whatever, whether it's him or somebody else, we'll go to somebody else, you know.
Okay. Just as long as we know like who it's going to go
Yeah.
to. And then that's talked about at the committee meeting, so that way it's.
Yeah.
Leads the, what's being said. And then I would say to the comment on like not commenting on legislation. I think that's a preference. I think that's a preference because we do comment on legislation, but I think that, you know, if the larger board sees this and sees, thinks that we should be commenting on legislation, then the vote would reflect that, right? It would be sent back to committee to then be,
Yeah,
you know,
sure. I feel like there are some things that don't have a direct impact on our residents, whatever.
no, I agree.
Broader discussion.
Right, it's a broader discussion and
If it were, yeah, whatever, if it were legislation on whatever, picking up mentally ill people.
we're going in circles.
okay. Great, thank you. Okay, so I made that update and within the boundaries of Community District 2.
Yeah.
Okay. And then this TBD, because it looks November and December, I don't think.
Sorry, October. I don't know if we'll be ready with number 1. I don't think we'll be ready with number 2, which I would love to do. We will also probably meet with an organization called SHAP, which does outreach on homeless and substance.
Okay.
abuse. And then we'll see what kind of room we have on our agenda. It's
course.
always good to do, to touch base with these
Yeah.
entities. So we'll see if we need to fill in holes to bolster the agenda.
Thank you. And again, these are not the reports, these are just going through the calendar. So for traffic and transportation, I think this is an old one.
Yeah. 'cause I put this together.
So
So this month or next.
it's just the district.
Yeah, we have district needs, and then the meatpacking bid is going to present the current conditions of parking in
That's
the meatpacking district. And they are promised to share their report with us that'll go out in the e-blast next Friday, so people can look at it. But their board is still reviewing it, and it's not final. I spoke to Jeffrey. And so that's it. We've been bugging DOT, but they're focused on Canal Street. I mean, do you want me to just reach out to Tammy and schedule? She's gonna want, we should do a joint
Just the three
meeting.
of us should just get on email to.
Yeah, but, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, because that's the main big thing in terms of transportation is, we were on a call today at 2:00. The DOT has a preliminary plan for transportation, improving Canal Street east to west. And, it's been languishing for years. And, it's somebody dies and then they finally move forward. I mean, it's really sad how all of these traffic things happen. Somebody has to die before it's like that was happened at 6th Avenue and Houston Street. But they presented a bunch of ideas. Some are pretty simple, some are more extensive. I'm sure Mark will send out the flyer with, there's in-person engagement and then there'll be community engagement. So
I can ask you a question about the parking study. What do you know about the parking?
I know nothing.
Oh, okay, because I'm
I
very
asked for
interested,
a
as you know,
copy
about
of
parking.
it to get on the agenda, and he says, well, I can't get it to you. So I said, I'll put you on the agenda, and that's why if you read it, it says we're gonna receive the copy by Friday, September 19th. So, because that's what he said, and actually he said the 18th, but
To update parking regulations.
Yes.
It's not necessarily a
it's not a
analysis of.
recommendation. It's the first step. They have an outside consultant doing it. I am sure they already have some preliminary ideas of what they want to do, but they're going through the formal process.
Thank you.
Well, in addition to the parking in the meatpacking district, I'm wondering if there's any need for us to be discussing with DOT the disastrous cobblestones and paving stones that are they're just falling apart, sinking there. It's like
Everywhere or meatpacking or just,
meatpacking district,
okay.
14th Street.
I mean, I have been in the process of, yeah, well, everything's, it's all relative. I mean, there's some horrible ones like on Clarkson Street. I'm in the process of going through all our old CB2 resolutions to figure out what we've already passed, what we haven't. And, because some things are 10 years old and we're just asking for things. So I don't know if we've passed something on that in the past. So.
That is an excellent project for a fellow, looking at all the cobblestone streets and their conditions and evaluating them.
Start writing the proposal now.
Because some of them are so, riding a bicycle are so crazy.
Yeah.
And I've gotten flats repeatedly on a couple of them. Because it's just, and we keep asking for it in our district needs.
Gansevoort is nice. I rode down Gansevoort the other day and it has a lovely.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I put it on my
Great.
list to look up. I
Great.
have an answer.
So Parks and Waterfront you are on October 8th.
Yeah,
As a old date.
I forgot about the first. I have an issue with it.
You still had it as the first? Or-
Yeah, I thought we were meeting on the first. But,
do you have an agenda? 'Cause I mean,
Yeah, I'm gonna share what is,
so
slide.
one good thing we did was in our September meeting, we did 80% of our
district.
district needs assessment.
Great.
We introduced the topic to those who were new. I had a list of all the topics we discussed in the last year. We had input from Parks Commissioner who gave us good guidance on how to think about it this year.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think we got pretty close. We sent everybody out. He said you got another month to really nail it down.
Okay, so I'm gonna add that to the agenda, because this is just from the
Yeah, we have.
planning document.
Primary issue or primary topic, yeah.
Okay, and I just want to show you what I had from our planning document really quickly.
They do owe me a response to Jefferson Market. Garden. She does.
Oh, Trish.
Commissioner Shimon, too.
This is, I don't have Jefferson, I didn't move Jefferson Market because I know that was moved from the last one, but this is what, the first three were from the planning document.
Yeah, I think we're okay on Hudson River Park. I talked to him recently.
Okay,
I think, the status, that's a big Canal Street effort. We got an update on that last month.
this one,
Yes,
this whole thing.
yep, we got that.
Oh, right.
They asked to talk to us about that in August,
Okay,
so that one's out. The dog park, the hottest topic on the dog park, well, I don't want to do a review. but-
okay, yeah. Do you, so right now it's just the budget things, not the first one and not Jefferson
We
Market?
don't work that into the fourth one. One is gonna be worked into four.
Okay. And then anything on, if you have an update on Jefferson Market Garden to add to the agenda, just email Mark and I will add it.
Waiting on Commissioner Shimmer, she has to do that research into this.
Okay,
I would like to talk to Johnson Square guys, just a good example.
Yes,
And that'd be a good,
good
Friends.
stories.
and then you're good on the 5th of November
yes,
and the 3rd of December,
Yes.
possibly. Okay.
fine.
And then, okay, so I don't think we need to look at the 6-month outlook, but I'll just reshare the document. And then land use and housing, Katie, do you have an agenda for October? Is Katie on? I know Eugene's not on.
Katie.
She was.
Where'd she go?
There she is. Hi, Katie.
No, we can't hear you.
We can't hear you. Still can't hear you.
So what I had from the planning document, this is from a few months ago, was about a site vision plan for Gansevoort Square. I assume this is not. But otherwise, I'll add the budget and,
You're muted, Katie.
we can't hear you, Katie.
Or can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm being a little technological. The planning budget, Gansevoort Square, we don't know if we'll have an update, but we don't know if we'll have any updates on the Gansevoort Square in October.
Okay, so I'll remove that for now and just have did you guys end up, did the committee end up talking about district needs? I know I put it on the agenda, but do you need to have it as an agenda item again?
Yes, we need to have that as an agenda item again.
All right, and so I'll remove the first one. And if we have something to add, then just email Mark and myself and
Okay.
Eugene. Okay, and then you're
I
good.
just have to say, Valerie, that at the last minute, Eugene was not able to attend, so I'm.
Yes, I know. Yes, I'm aware. No worries. And then you have November 12th and you have December 10th for the next meetings.
We don't have anything else planned, but as you know, we've been receiving some
Yes,
applications for a quick turnaround these days, so.
yes, I'll let that be part of the report. And then for cannabis licensing, I know that and talked about a lot of different issues this month.
Yeah, we had a meeting last night.
Okay, we'll save it for the report. I just want to continue going through the calendar. The dates. I don't know what that is.
Zoom.
Somebody
So October 20th, we have as the date for cannabis licensing, which is the Monday right before full board. And then the 10th of November, which is the day, is Veterans Day really on a Tuesday and not a Monday?
Yeah, it's weird this year.
Veterans Day is really not on a Monday this year?
Yeah.
Wow.
Thursday is always the 11th.
11.
It's always.
Oh, okay. For some reason thank you. Okay, so cannabis licensing on Monday, November 10th, and then I'll talk with Mara and you about the 8th in December. Okay, so that's that. And then we have landmarks. We have the date of October 16th and November 13th and December 11th.
I can speak a bit to October. We were on the verge of a second meeting.
Okay.
And the large Canal Street project.
Oh, right.
The day of or the day before the meeting. So we had managed to squeeze it in because there weren't many others. But they planned to come back in October. And again, it's they're not quite a full meeting, but depending on how many others come in, it may or may not need to be segregated.
Okay.
Well, if that's the case, then the only place.
I'll speak up as soon as we know.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Thank you. And then next, SLA 1 and 2 on your dates, we have the 7th and the 9th for October. So the first full week.
Yep.
Of October, and then we have the 5th and the 6th, Wednesday and Thursday of November.
Yep.
With an overlap of parks, and then December 2nd and 4th, the first full week. Okay.
Right. Yep.
All right, and we will start working on the 2026 calendar. I think I got through everyone. Street activities and resiliency, your dates, Monday the 6th, November the 3rd, and December the 1st. Okay, great. And then I think I got through everyone. So let's go quickly through our reports. Thanks for talking through all that. And ideally, the budget prioritization won't take as long, it sounds like, this year. So we'll have time to do the calendar for 2026 that will circulate ahead of time of the October exec. So committee reports, SLA licensing 1 and 2. If you have anything you need to share with the board.
Yeah, not much of anything. It was a pretty normal month. We had quite a few layovers and withdrawals, and next month we've already got about 36 new applications. So October is looking to be busy. About 24 of those are for the municipal expansion. So I may be able to hopefully waive a bunch of them. That's it.
Thank you. Great. Street activities and resiliency. Could you tell us, maybe talk about the letter that Councilmember Marte sent out?
That was what I was
Great.
planning on mentioning. So, yeah, we had another really busy month.
Can Katie hear you? Move to the table.
So we had another really busy month, a lot going on, including San Gennaro and Fashion Week, which is always very busy. Some disruptive events happening as expected. We've tried our best to tamp them down as much as we can. Some stuff happening that was not as advertised, which is always frustrating. But in any case, we soldier on. In terms of the letter we sent for that Chris Marte's office sent, so this has to do specifically with the issue of pop-ups, which I brought up before, and how especially within Nolita and Soho, there's some areas that are just repeat offenders with these like really hyped social media pop-ups that turn over every couple of weeks with a new hyped brand, and their whole goal is to spawn these massive lines. And so we actually got Chris Marte's office, we consulted with them, and they wrote a letter to, it's to the DOT and CECM, which is the parent company of SAPO, and DCWP, just raising the issue to them and actually naming some of the specific spaces which we've seen as being repeat offenders, and asking that those agencies kind of work together and see if they can find any mitigating, if not complete solutions, ways to try to make the impact less. I don't know what those solutions will be, but at least it's a start of, at least trying to put a little bit of pressure on these organizations. So, yeah, that's interesting. We'll see where that goes. Otherwise, it's kind of business as usual.
Great, thank you. Parks and Waterfront?
We have a non-confrontational, repeated one. It's just an art installation review in the Lieutenant Petrosino Square. And the Petrosino Friends group is really supportive of it. And so it should be well received.
Okay.
Details are in there. It did give the opportunity for the neighborhood to raise another question of a $500,000 commitment that the DOT had made for the study, the design and expansion of Petrosino Square. So this just gave them a forum to raise that again, which was beneficial.
Okay. Is the resolution about that, call that out? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, great, wonderful. Thank you.
It's, yeah, it's cool. They're there for 3 months.
Great. Thank you.
Yep.
Any questions for Rich, or I didn't ask on or anyone else, but there's other questions. Landmarks? Chanel? We could unmute. Hi.
Chanel, you're muted.
I couldn't find my screen. I was looking up. We have one significant thing outside the meeting. On the 30th is the commission hearing for the St. Luke's building. It was contentious at the committee meeting, and that sort of spilled over into the board meeting. This thing that will not understand that we are all in favor of what they're doing, but not the building they want to do it in. And there was virtually no response except from the architect about the building at our committee meeting, and hours of testimony about the worth of the program and that we must approve it because the program's good. In any case, I plan to testify briefly at the commission meeting, and it's on the 30th, so people may want to tune in, or perhaps strategically other testimony that complements
The board's position. Yeah, Chanel, we can chat and see if there's different pieces we want to divide up. And then we can make sure we can have Mark reach out to our.
And there's always the danger of overkill, so it has to be carefully done.
What?
So we can discuss that.
Yes, we can discuss that.
I have a question. What is the hearing on the 30th that you're?
So the Landmarks Preservation Commission will be reviewing the St. Luke's landmarks application.
So they presented at the last.
Yes, no, I know that they presented at my understanding is that a lot of the commentary, there was the opinion about the building, and then there was a lot of commentary on, who's going to be occupying that building, what they're doing with that building. I spoke to St. Luke's to see if they wanted to return to CB2 to talk about the mission and the use of the building. And they said that they're having a lot of conversations.
Yeah, they're open to having one-on-one conversations.
So they don't need to come back.
Yeah.
Travis was upset with me for supporting the
LPC.
He was joking.
And
I feel like it's two different things.
Yeah, it is. It was just.
It is.
Frustration.
Yeah, and Chanel and I will work if there's.
We want it to happen in a building that is proper for the community.
Right. You're right. And that was the.
Well, a lot of people said that they support the mission, just not forgetting about the design of the building.
We're not.
Support the mission.
Yeah, we don't need to rehash it. So next we have cannabis licensing.
Yeah, we met last night and,
Yes.
we had we received one notice last month regarding an application, but it was withdrawn due to its proximity to both a school and another dispensary. Given the ongoing challenges with the municipal process, both the OCM side and for applicants, we want to highlight some issues. In particular, the recent revision to how OCM measures distance from schools deserves clarification and discussion. We also examined district needs as they relate to cannabis businesses. On the first two issues, municipal process and school proximity, we have prepared resolutions. For district needs, we made the following recommendation: establish an Office of Cannabis Business Services that would support community boards licensees and applicants with resources and technical assistance. And the second one, act as a liaison between community boards and OCM to ensure communication and transparency. That's it.
Great. I wonder if there's anyone I think those are wonderful. I wonder if there's anyone at the intergovernment affairs that in the city, you guys know what I'm talking about, like intergovernment, if that deals with like federal and deals with the other state, if there's someone on, I'm gonna see, this should definitely go forward, obviously, and the board will vote on it and it'd be wonderful. But that might be something in the interim to find out. Okay. So I'll look into that. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Human Services?
We didn't have a meeting in July. We're having a meeting next week, and you just saw the agenda. I had actually just some questions that are not specific to our topics of conversation, but one is, I found myself, it's a question for Mark, I think. I found myself recently looking for past resolutions on our website, and I'm not able to find them. I end up having to go to my files and see when my draft was written, and then I go back and I look for I'm just wondering, I know that there's this whole plan to add tags. Do we have any sense of when?
Update on that?
Yeah, so that project is in the works and we're getting pretty close to finishing it.
Great.
So that would be a second way. And I know that Carter has a great facility with finding things under the current system. And I have the problem you have is that when I do searches, I generally find the committee that talked about it.
Yes.
And then I go back to
Yes.
to the.
Then I have to go right.
Shouldn't be that hard.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So I'm
Your
hoping.
table should solve that in a one-stop shopping kind of way, once we learn to look what we're
Are
looking
you,
for.
are you searching up here? Or are you searching here?
I first do a search. I first do a search up there.
Uh-huh.
And then I look up, whatever, project renewal, and I find project renewal and it's as an agenda item,
Mm-hmm.
but there's no resolution on it.
Right.
So then I have to go to my records, which no one else has, right? It's just on my computer. And I worry about that for memorialization, and I'm gonna be off the board in a year and a half.
You put that
So,
in quotes, the project renewal.
Yeah, put it back in
It
quotes.
turns up all the.
Yeah, so this is, so this is under resources. Well, it's Boolean. I mean, it's Boolean search. I mean, it's a pretty basic kind of thing. I mean,
under documents.
you go under resources, document
The top right
search.
search bar is not the same.
Yeah,
This-
that searches the
this points
site.
To this specific
Files.
search points to minutes and resolutions.
There you
Yeah.
go. That.
Oh, really?
And
I didn't know
that's why you
that.
can turn up anything under that search.
Okay, that is more
Oh,
helpful.
I didn't know that.
In that case,
Right.
to have the more refined system, would it be possible to share that guidance with the public when they come? Because I think no one will know to do that. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And like people ask me like, what's
Yeah, because there's this
project
search
renewal?
thing in the top right.
What I
there's a
did
big
for
search
Virginia
thing,
Last
yeah.
month is I sent her every single traffic and transportation resolution that's.
Yeah,
that's on
yeah,
the
yeah.
website. If you
Okay.
have that for all of yours and you put it in a folder on your own
We had a
computer,
cheat sheet on them.
you
Yeah, but
can
this is-
search just the folder.
Or you could train
But
a
here's the
large
thing,
language model.
When Josh left, he never finished his project, which was to do that for each committee
Okay,
on the board, because it's already there. This is
Okay.
all there, and you go through this, but it's all there for each committee. We've never divided
it
on
by
our
committee.
website, each committee having its own section.
Okay,
Or just
yeah,
the reports from each committee going all the way down,
yes.
or they're
Right.
separated. That is what you wanna search.
Right.
It's not, I mean, you have what, in the last 10 years, realistically, maybe 120
Whatever.
resolutions. Well, I'm just saying,
Yeah, right.
it's a
Someone
finite.
comes and says to me, what's going on with project renewal? And I would love to be able to say to them, go on our website. Okay, it was just, I'm glad that it's being worked on. I'm glad other people, I'm not the one person worrying about that. And then the other thing I wanted to ask, and I know you mentioned succession, but I am keen to be able to name a vice chair so that I can then at the end of this year, so in March or April, I would become that vice chair's.
Yeah.
He would become chair and I would become vice chair.
So we'll work out that specific. I understand that that's
Or
a.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
I
Yes,
still-
you're ready. Yes.
And I would love the time to be able to get people on the committee used to writing resolutions, because I found it's not that easy to do that.
You can
And
start that right now.
yes, but it's tricky. It's Sure, whatever. Yes, I have started, but it's tricky. Okay, I think that's it.
And the document search is populated by Google search engine. Let me go back and share. So you can also use CB2, like in a regular Google search, and I pulled up documents in a Google search bar outside of this site and found things.
What was your problem? Like,
I like CB2 and plus signs. I use plus signs on when I'm in like a Chrome,
Okay.
Google, like right here. But this is powered by, it's enhanced by Google, excuse me. So it's a Google technology on our site to search the files on our site. So that's what the document search does. The search bar searches for places on our website, on web pages. I promise I won't talk about website taxonomy. Moving on, thank you very much. Thank you for your questions, Susanna. Then we have schools and ed, and then traffic and transportation.
We're meeting right before Human Services on the 25th at 5:30. And we're doing a back to school with Superintendent Kelly McGuire. And then we're gonna follow up again with our fiscal year 27 district needs.
Thank you.
Statements.
And thank you, Susanna, for your flexibility on that evening as well, and for your flexibility, Patricia, as well, and your committee. Traffic and transportation.
We already discussed the agenda.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
we're good.
good. So that's all your for the report. Any new business from anyone else? Was going to bring up one quick thing, and then I'll get us out of here. There is going to be, oh, Katie?
She can unmute herself.
Katie, you're not unmuted.
You're muted.
You're muted.
Let me see. I don't have the
I'm
control.
fine. I've got
Okay,
two
hi.
technologies going.
That's okay.
I've got two technologies. Can you hear me yet?
Yes.
Okay. I've got two technologies going because I've had other things planned for tonight. But do you want the land use report?
Oh, did I not? I'm sorry. I must have not called in. I must have skipped over from parks. I went to landmarks because I saw land use. Thank you so much. Not, that's not my intention. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So we have 4 resolutions for Thursday. One is on 51 Little West 12th Street, which is a BSA variance. And we are going to deny that on the basis that the applicant has not met the 5 findings. The next one is on 126 Lafayette Street. I don't know. We're going to say we're going to vote in favor of that with some caveats, because we're not so happy that it's only 99 residential units, because that seems to be an effort to avoid paying the prevailing wage to the construction workers. So we're okay with it, but we're just going to say this is a problem that we might be able to get more residential units in a project like this, but other factors get in the way. 30 Thompson Street and 285 Hudson Street are from the same applicant. We're going to be in favor of both of them. They'll be very repetitive resolutions. They'll have to mirror each other because they are related, and what they're related to, these are 100% affordable housing. They're going to be, the first preference of the developer is affordable cooperative ownership of home ownership under Article 11 HCFC housing. But if that doesn't work out, it'll be affordable rental housing. But it's going to be keyed to another project on, is it Broadway, Carter? Am I remembering? West Broadway, at a parking lot on West Broadway, sort of at the southern end. And that will be 100% luxury housing, and these two projects will offset it. So we're very happy about the 100% affordable, but we're, concerned about the expansion of 100% luxury housing as well. So, but we are going to be in favor of it. And was a very interesting presentation by the developer. And there may be more projects like this coming, even though during the Soho NoHo rezoning, they said this wouldn't happen. So the committee was a little raised a couple eyebrows, not
Yeah,
about the
so-
project, but just about what had been discussed or promised in the past.
Right, so they're just required to notify, but they're not required to make a presentation, though some are insistent.
What with the most key part of this is we were told by the city this would never, ever, ever happen. And we had 2 buildings that came. Said it is not possible ever. We brought it up. They said pipe dreams.
Not possible what?
That they would build a separate building for affordable housing to offset a market rate development. And they said it would never, ever happen. It was discussed and brought up by community groups multiple times. But it's just all of these failures in the rezoning to address the reality. So it was not, the result is many people, I think, have the feeling the rezoning never tied in properly to what is actually happening. And therefore, the benefits of what you can do with the rezoning to encourage different actions may not have been tailored quite that well.
So it's really the only instance we find out what the as of right MIH that comes online. And so finding a way to track that is going to be important for that.
I don't think this is, that's right. Well, the other thing I will say, Valerie, is that the developer wanted a letter of support, but we felt that we would, write the resolution and then, we can always issue a letter, but a reso would be a more proper way to go.
I mean, the reso is the letter.
And one of the key parts is that these 2 buildings are for home ownership, affordable home ownership.
That's the intention. And they will have to come back to us if that's Carter. If that's true, they'll have to come back to us because they'll need another action that I believe that will be required to opine about. And all of the votes were unanimous, so that's pretty nice.
Great.
And another key element to the offsite housing is it's a higher percentage, so it's 30% is required. And so we're starting to see these outliers right off the bat that weren't expected for affordable housing development, which is a really big.
Yeah.
We should start
step
tracking this in a
forward.
spreadsheet with
And the
units.
projects are happening quite quickly. So,
Great, thank you guys for that overview. And the 99 unit thing really quickly is 485X, which if you build over 99 units, you have to pay $40 in labor wages. And if you build under 90.
Prevailing wages.
Prevailing wage, then you have to, you don't have to. So you'll start to see that, a lot of these, the question, yeah. All right.
You will have.
So we have.
You need to come up here.
So I'm just wondering, whenever you do a project, percent affordable and it's offsetting market rate somewhere else, is there a restriction on where that other location is, or can that be?
It's going to be in our community board, and I believe that's required.
This one will, but you're asking if it always has.
Yeah.
Oh, it's in Queens or.
Yeah, that's right. It could be anywhere.
Okay.
I don't.
It's supposed to be within the community district or within a half a mile.
So it's supposed to be within the same community district or half a mile is what Mark is saying. You can't hear.
And for the 99 units, this building is fairly close to, it's not far off and it's maximization of its FAR.
So you're saying it likely wouldn't be.
It's fairly close, meaning to
There's
be
not-
critical of that element when it's a small percentage of underdevelopment is maybe not such a strong criticism in this particular case.
Okay. Great. Is there any new business? I'm not going to bring up what I'm going to bring up. So, okay, is there a motion to adjourn?
Oh, yeah.
No,
Great.
I could just say, but we got mixed up between the two. We're not having a needs statement, and instead we are going to appeal directly to the commission.
No.
Where there may very well be a new chair if there's a new mayor.
Are you saying, maybe we'll talk offline because we've kind of adjourned. Are you talking about, there is a district needs statement?
Yeah, so we won't be part of it.
No, we have one. We will be a part of one. Okay, please wrap this up.
Excellent. We're adjourned.
We are
Turn it off.
official.